for justice. It's a complicated criminal conspiracy in which the perpetrators rarely suffer any consequences. That's exactly right. Dan Greenfield, Zero Hedge, you'll see that. How to make your own race riot. So first of all, you got to understand that riots are not fed by outrage, but they're fed by opportunism. Here's a good example of this. You have a reporter that engages with a looter, and he's been captured by the police. He's got his hands handcuffed behind his back. And the reporter says, all right, man, we just saw you at the New Balance show. Why are you out here? Let's play that video clip number 1.
We saw a looter actually get taken down by LAPD a short time ago. So we're at Wilshire and 26. There's a New Balance store on the corner. We saw a group of looters breaking in. They tried to flee. They got into a car and took off, but they left one guy behind who wasn't fast enough. LAPD saw.
Leave no one behind,
We
right?
can pull up that video right now. We'll show it to you. We started rolling as soon as we saw LAPD see them. You're going to see an LAPD cruiser immediately take off after one of the looters who was running on foot, trying to get away. He tries to turn a corner. LAPD catches up to him. They get out, and he immediately surrenders and gets taken down without incident. Now, I had the chance to interview this guy just a short time ago, and he was very candid about why he's out here. Take a listen to what he had to say. All right, man, we saw you at the New Balance store. Why are you out here?
Man, period, point blank, just like all my real ones trying to get some monies. Explanation, that's it. Trying to get some dough, that's it.
Just out here for the money?
Yeah, pretty much.
Anything to do with the protests, what happened in Minnesota?
I mean, a little bit to do with that too, you feel me? But not really. I'm out here for the dough.
Was it worth it?
Obviously not. I'm out here hemmed up. Yeah, y'all see it. Man, if y'all gonna get some money, do it right. Don't do it the dumb way. Do it the smart way. Yeah.
Thanks for your time, man. Best of luck to you.
Now, you know, I have respect for that guy. A lot more respect for him than I do for AOC or Ilhan Omar or Pelosi or Mitch McConnell or whatever. If you're going to be a thief, at least own up to it, right? Don't try to justify it for some higher cause. We need people like him in Congress before we need people like Pelosi and AOC and Mitch McConnell or whatever. We need to have some honest, candid thieves, quite frankly, instead of trying to justify it with high moral authority that they're doing right now. But yeah, it's simply about opportunism. Man, point blank, period, is just like, I'm just trying to get some monies. I'd love to hear those two say that. I'm just in it for the power and the money, man. Whatever, you know. But as Daniel Greenfield points out, he said the riots didn't happen because of outrage, but because the gathering mobs are told by everyone from CNN right up to their local Democrat politicians that angry protests were expected and they'd be tolerated, and that was just as good as throwing a match onto a spreading pool of gasoline. And, you know, as he also points out, there's the outside agitators. Remember that phrase? Outside agitators? Well, it turns out they were right. They were right. Yeah, the media sticks to its narrative of an outraged community that engages in excesses, especially when it can't tell apart the locals from the outsiders. Local cops can, but no one in the media will listen to them. And if you want to really see the worst of this, take a look at what these Antifa people are doing. I got a clip here from a Richmond fire chief who basically breaks up in tears as he's talking about these people setting a fire and then blocking the road so the firemen can't get there and people are inside the burning building. Video clip number 2.
There's one incident I think is particularly poignant that truly illustrates the seriousness of the issues that we're facing. The mayor mentioned this. Last night, protesters intentionally set a fire to an occupied building on Broad Street. This was not the only occupied building that has been set fire to over the last 2 days, but they prohibited us from getting on scene. We had to force our way to make a clear path for the fire department. Protesters intercepted that fire apparatus several blocks away with vehicles and blocked that fire department's access to the structure fire. Inside that home was a child. Officers were able to...
At this point, he chokes up. Because inside the burning building, they set the building on fire, and there's a child in there, and then they go down and block the road.
Those people out of the house. we were able to get the fire department there safely. Sorry.
Again,
When
he's
you
still
take
choked up about it.
a legitimate issue and hijack it for unknown reasons, that is unacceptable to me. It's unacceptable to the Richmond Police Department, unacceptable to the city of Richmond. As the mayor said, this isn't Richmond. And it truly is not Richmond. It's not even Virginia. It's not even the mid-Atlantic. We have intelligence that we're working on presently so that we hope to be able to file charges following up from this. We have people from across the country who have traveled many states to be here. We know that this is an organized effort. We're committed to try and identify those that are behind it, and we're doing our very level best to arrest those that are perpetrating the violence on our community, our city, and our citizens. So, with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. That's the Richmond fire chief getting choked up as he talks about a building, occupied building, set on fire. And then these Antifa Marxists block the path so that the firemen cannot get there. The police broke through that, and the police rescued the people out of the burning building. And then he goes on to say, these are people from outside our community. Oh, but don't believe that. Don't believe that. This is just a grassroots uprising against police brutality and racism, right? The same police who rescued the people from the burning building. See, this is Richmond. Where this particular case happened was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, a place that's run by Democrats and Muslims, and who have had incident after incident of out-of-control police. And yet, when you look at this, ask yourself, who benefits from this? You should have asked yourself that, and many of us have been saying that. Who benefits from the lockdown? Certainly not Americans, certainly not the middle class, certainly not anybody who's looking to buy food even, or medicine. Not the hospitals, really. They're going out of business. Who benefits from this? Fauci, Birx, Gates, President Trump, who is pushing the Gates vaccine faster and harder than Bill Gates ever could. Bill Gates has never put in billions of dollars into vaccine development, and that vaccine will be used. They've already contracted for it to be manufactured. It's going to be used whether or not Trump is in office. If Trump is not there, you bet they're going to force that on you. People like Dershowitz and so forth. But yeah, who benefits from this? Look at the fact that in London, they're having protests about racism in America because of one incident in one city. And again, if you want to fix excessive force, demilitarize the police, reform the police, change the way they're trained. But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to hijack that for our agenda. I said that from the very beginning. It's going to be about a race war, and it's going to be about burning down society. Breitbart, people in Trafalgar Square in London. We need to burn this excrement down. The West is falling. That's what they want to do. They want to destroy Western civilization. And that's why you're seeing this happening across the world in London. All of these people hijacking this. And here's the bottom line, folks. It's the global corporate media that is able to push a narrative, no matter how absurd, no matter how detached from reality. They're able to push a narrative and instantly affect change on a global basis. You should be very afraid of that. And you should understand the only thing that stands in the way of that